But in here is where all the hub magic happens. So on this side we have all mini hubs and the scalped mini hub. These are all 28 holes in this one here, but some nice little matte black one. Still have some Madeira hubs still available, but this is all mini. And on this side we have all mountain bike. So these are the classics here, and then we have all the Elite stuff here. So we got all the bearings and all the axles for all the Elite mountain bike hubs that we make in this particular row.
Is there still a demand for the classic hub?
There is, especially a single speed. People love them. People love the single speed. We've sold, that's probably the biggest seller for us on the classic is the single speed.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So everybody's gone pretty much fished on over to the Elite for the rear multi-speed. So we just got done doing a titanium driver for the multi-speed for the e-bikes. So you don't rip out the springs and pawl pockets and on the aluminum driver on the e-bike. So titanium driver, SRAM, Shimano compatible for the e-bikes. So you guys should definitely buy an Elite for your e-bike. And then, so this is more Elite hubs, mountain stuff. We have the Boost 148 hubs, and then goes into the Elite BMX hubs. So we also make like a Freewheel hub. So it's the Madeira Ghost hub, and then we have the Nomad one. And then the Elite hubs are here. So all the different colors in the Elite hubs. Elite BMX disc is the same shell as the 1011 speed hub. So this is basically the mountain bike 1011 speed hub, which also converts to the Elite BMX disc hub. So we don't make a separate shell just for BMX.
So that's just the spacing.
Just the spacing, yeah. So then all the axles are down here for chromoly axles for the Elite hub, front chromollies, rear chromollies, and we got some titanium 14 mils right there. And these are all the ratchet rings that come out of the machine. They come back and they get put in here for usage. So these are the ones that we were looking at in the back on the machine. So when they're all done, they just come out and they're just ready to get installed. So there's no other secondary process or anything to do with that. So once they come out of the machine shop, we're ready to use it. 90% of what we do that comes out of the machine shop, you can build and ride. And then it gets more technical with the colors. So, depending if you want a different color or not, but if you want just silver, you can just take it right off the machine and start riding. Yeah, it's really cool. Bearings, things like that. We try to pre-make drivers. We can't pre-make hubs and put them on a shelf. There's too many combinations to stock hub already assembled. So every hub that is out there was hand built by some of us, and but we try to stock up on some of the drivers already pre-built. Kind of helps the process go a lot faster for building it. We got cones. These are all the little cones that we were kind of seeing coming out of that other machine. There's the bulk of most of the cones here for the mini hubs.
Trying to work out what that was.
Sounds like Shane's knees are cracking. Yeah. So yeah, and then we got these are the spline inserts for this is a 22 mil sprocket insert, and then there's the spider, and then the 19 mil stuff right there as well. When they get all just pressed on, we just press them on. We have a little thing that goes over the top of the aluminum block there, so don't scratch anything when you go to press them on.
Who came up with the idea for the spline drive?
So that's a good question, and it was again, this is going to have to go back to Jim, maybe Corey, but spline drive is not new. It wasn't new when we came out with it. We tried it, as far as I know, we tried it many years prior to it becoming popular. It just never went popular back then. And so when spline drive started coming back around, you know, we also have documentation of when we made the first Spline drive. Jim would probably have that in his vault somewhere, but I mean, we've never had an issue with the Spline drive, sprocket or spider, as far as I know, of the insert stripping out or breaking or failing in any way. So it's really cool. I prefer the Spline drive. So then over here is we have like all our bolts that we make, you know. So we have the 3/8 to 14 mil hex bolts, chromoly. We got titanium 3/8 to 14 mil button head bolts. Our volcano tie bolts here that we make. All the little aluminum washers for all that stuff. All the jam nuts. So all of our other bolts here. These are all cones. We stopped making the colored cones to match the hub. And I think the biggest reason why is one, it was hard to match the color, you know, between the two materials. And so you would send, for instance, red out, and you would get, on the way back, it would be like two different colors. So we'd have to sift through every one of those to try to figure out, you know, what's going to match. And it really was kind of one of those things where we just said, you know what, we're just going black cones, because it was a lot. People didn't like it when the cones didn't match. So we'd rather have people happy than sad, you know. So we decided we're just going to go black with all the cones on the Elite Hubs now. So, and then like we have.
Polish wouldn't be an option?
Oh, polished is definitely an option. I mean, we have more polished cones than you can shake a stick at. I mean, they're all down here. Here's all the mini hub cones here. You notice it doesn't have the knurled washer on it, so we have to basically, they go out for hardening and come back,
right, and press it on.
and then we have to press it onto the cone. So then this is the drive side already done, already pressed on there. That's a tedious job. Nobody likes doing that one for sure. So, but yeah, always silver's an option, always. So then the cogs are all the different cog sizes that we have. You know, honestly, they only range from, you know, 12 to 18 tooth cogs. So those are all nickel plated now. Before they used to be zinc plated. So the nickel's way more durable and way nicer looking than the zinc. So, and then you know, some track stuff. I don't know if there's any track people out there, but we do have track. We have track hubs.
They use them for fixies anyway.
Yeah, fixie bikes. So yeah, so we got fixie cogs, and we make, you know, obviously we make a good fixie hub. So here's an old cool fixie hub here. But that's a fix free hub that we made. This is a long time ago we made this one. But so we just kind of keep that in the archive there. So, and then hub guards. So this is the plastic hub guard that we manufacture for the drive side. So it can either be ridden on the right or the left, depending on what your style is. And we have the aluminum, standard aluminum ones that we make. And then Z-Coaster. And I know Z-Coaster is pretty big in the freestyle street. Well, I don't know about street, but the flatland, obviously. But so this is all our Z-Coaster stuff here. And we have, you know, quite an array of colors, standard issue colors, you know, black, red, blue, gold, silver. And then we do some occasionally in purple and white. So we do have some of that stuff. And these are all the axles and the little bits for that. So we also like make titanium 9-tooth Z-Coaster drivers. And then you have your choice of slack ring. So, you know, 25, 35, 45 is one of the slack rings. 60 is probably the most widely used one. I think we always do is 60, and a 90. So, and then these are all the drivers right here. So these are all mini drivers on this side. So you got the mini tie spline. We had 9-tooth chromo, 11-tooth chromo, spline chromo driver there. So up on top there is a classic 10-speed titanium driver. And then on this side we have all the Elite stuff. So these are all the Elite drivers. Aluminum driver there, titanium here, titanium 9s, left hand and right hand. It's proprietary to the hub. Can't switch it over like you do on a Mini. Like the driver, you can't switch from right to left. So it's either right or left. So, and this is all the 20 mil axle stuff. So like 20 mil front hub cones, 1520 rear hub cones. So 20 mil axles, front and rear there. And then these are all of the mountain bike cones that we have. So again, we stopped doing all the colors in mountain bike as well for the cones. So you have your choice of black or silver. But then again, you know, if we do have a color that does match the particular hub that the customer is buying, then if they opt for that color of cone, we'll put it on there. So, and these are cool too. Just check these out. This is the inner body of the Freewheel hub, completely titanium, except the pawls.
So
the
that's
pawls.
new, isn't it? The 6-pole system. Used to be
Yes,
4?
used to be 4. So we went to 6 pawls now. So give it that more true elite feel. But the inner body's all titanium. Again, the pawls and the springs. Pawls are made out of S7 tool steel, and the springs on this one in particular on this copper.
So did that increase the points of engagement by adding extra poles?
It did not. The only thing that it did was it left it really just gave us more. I don't know how to explain it, but so the 2 opposing pawls will still only engage at once.
Okay.
So unlike the AC2 hub, where you'll have 3 pawls engaged, and I can show you that if you want. But yeah, so that's the Freewheel. We're out of stock on them. I mean, they sell like crazy. As soon as we get them, we're sold out. You can see it's a lot tedious work. I mean, for a guy like me that can't see much, you try to put the pawls and the springs in that thing, it'll drive you crazy. But I mean, we sell those things like crazy when we have them. And then we have some of the aluminum cogs, and then some elite cogs down there as well. So this is some mountain bike stems here that we have. We got the 31.8, 35 mil, and we also make a triple tree mountain bike stem. So they're really cool. They're really durable as well. They come in a bunch of different cool colors. And then over here is kind of where the AC2s are. So we were talking about just a minute ago about the drivers. So this is an AC2 driver here. Kind of looks exactly like an Elite driver. However, there are some differences with the bearings and things like that. But what I'll do is I'll show you with this. So imagine this just being in the hub. See these little cutouts. So there's no more string, or there's no more screwdriver or anything like that. You just freewheel and it goes in. But you'll see on this that there's 3 pawls engaged at one time. So this one, and this one are engaged. These 3 here are in standby. So on a typical Elite setup, you'll have the 2, like on the Freewheel, there'll be just these 2 here will be engaged, and the rest will be in standby.
So they engage every half rotation?
Whatever the degree is on that ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll engage. So with the 204 points of engagement on the Elite hub, I mean, it's, you know, obviously it makes it really, really small increments that you have to freewheel for it to engage. So like this one, I mean, I can't hold it exactly straight, but you can definitely see it doesn't take much movement for it to engage. So if you wanted to, for the smaller riders, or even some of the older riders I know, like a couple of the older guys that I know will take out the 3 opposing pawls, and it'll turn this hub into a 48-point engagement hub, but it won't feel that way.
Yeah.
You know, it still feels this, like you can hear it almost like that micro drive. I don't know how else to explain it, but a real fast engagement hub. But it does lessen the drag on it when you pull 3 of them out. So so it's really cool. This is probably one of the best ideas that we've had in a long time.
How come we haven't seen that ratchet ring with the indents on the Elite hub?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because you know the ratchet ring with the indents on the Elite hub, it's a little bit more detailed, because you see where the ramps on these they're so much wider. So if you look at the Elite Hub, they're so much closer, so much more fine detailed than it is here. So to put these ramps on there, it's not going to really make much of a difference for you to get it in. So the only way to do it was with this one. So we just kind of left it with that.
Yeah.